Hey Scorpio, it's Empress Rose here. Welcome to your reading. General reading, take what works, leave what doesn't. If I don't catch a wavelength or storyline on this reading, check your other major placements. If I do, there will be an extended, if I do catch your wavelength or storyline, there will be an extended, and the link is in the description box right below here. And what I'm going to do is a regular traditional tarot spread here, and then over on the extended I'm going to put another spread directly over that with a different deck, and then we'll be taking both of those cards together for a clearer message, hopefully. Sometimes the cards, there's a lot of cards going on over there, and but then there'll be like one or two pairs that just have such a clear ringing message. It's very fun in my opinion. All right, cutting the deck here from the bottom of the deck overall for the reading, 5 of Swords. Oh, we'll see where this goes, but this is difficult choices, difficult decisions. You're not going to be able to get everything you want here. You may have to make some difficult choices. Yeah, there's not really a good compromise. I'm like sighing as I look at this card. This card. Not good. I mean, I like it because it is like some acknowledgement here that not everything is clear cut. Not everything has a good compromise. Not every situation is one where both parties get what they want. So you may lose friends but win something. You may win friends but lose something, and you have to decide what it is you're going to do. Oftentimes this card depicts sort of almost the pain of winning, the frustration of winning. Heavy is the head that wears the crown, and there's going to be people upset with you for getting what you want. Sometimes there can be people that are jealous, or people that just exit your life because they don't agree with how you did something. So that's the difficult choice that you're facing with, and some relationships aren't worth sacrificing every part of yourself for. Like, I'm sorry that you don't see this my way, but I've got to do it this way. So there's just some sacrifices to be made in order to get what you want. So there's not like a win-win pleasant situation. So this is talking about difficult choices. Scorpio, fun. This is your past, your present, your inner landscape, what's at issue, your environment, to-do list, possible outcome. I was expecting that. I thought the King of Coins was the Hierophant, and then we get the Hierophant, actually. All right. So, yep. Choices. Oh my gosh. Okay. In your recent past, you have the King of Coins. This is a person. This is someone who's been very successful. They've done a lot of planning. They might be materially successful, some sort of boss energy. This one's got some calculations. They've made some calculations. They've almost been through this. They've been through this process many times before of making difficult decisions. They've chosen their future themselves at each juncture. This one, they plan for the future. They're meticulous. They're methodical. They, King of Coins. This is success. They get what they want in the real world. In the 3D, they're very... I've been thinking about this, about like the grounded energy, or the people that make things happen in reality, that have a really good, I think, karmic relationship with money or something. Just understand it very well, understand how to make more of it, understand how to invest. So this is a careful investor and successful. In your current situation, you have the Chariot. There's some fast-moving energy going here, going where you want, maybe even going for a trip somewhere. There's some fast-moving energy. Things are lining up. Things are coming together. You can go where you want to go. You have a sense of direction. You have the means of that, going in that direction, heading in that direction. The Chariot has a lot of energy behind it, a lot of horsepower, let's say, in this Chariot to go in the direction that you want. A lot of power, a lot of drive, a lot of ability to make things move. So that's your current situation. You have this ability to move something along. It's not creating out of nowhere. This isn't the Magician. This is moving something along, moving towards a goal. There's a sense of entitlement, almost a sense of family entitlement to this. But things are lining up for you. And there's a lot of movement and energy in the air. Then we have the Lovers here. Oh my gosh, holy major arcana here. We have the Chariot, the Lovers, the Hierophant, and Justice. This is the third reading in a row that Justice has shown up in. For me, as far as the readings I'm doing over here. Fascinating. Very fascinating. Okay, your hopes, your fears, your inner landscape, the Lovers. The Lovers are about what fuels us, what fuels our movement. Do we move out of fear or do we move out of love? Do we make decisions, these difficult decisions and these difficult choices out of a vision for what our future can look like, or out of fear of what our prior experiences in the past? Are we moving towards that which we love? Are we making space for a life full of things that we love? Are we looking at what we want more than we're looking at what we don't want? Are we focused on what we want more than we're focused on what we don't want, what we're worried is going to happen, what we're afraid is going to happen? So this is the question. This is what's on your mind. This is maybe sitting in your subconscious, dealing with fears and hopes. And this comes in your hopes and fears column, right? Your inner landscape. You're dealing with fears and hopes. And which one's going to motivate you more? The carrot or the stick? Right? We've got this Chariot here. We've got all this movement and motion forward. And what's propelling that motion forward? Are we moving the Chariot? Are we moving those horses that drive the Chariot? Are we moving them with rewards, with what they want, with what they love, with the carrots? Or are we moving the Chariot forward with fear, with a whip, with a, and that changes the direction which the Chariot goes. It's almost like the barn, the horse in the barn. I think of horses apparently a lot right now. The horse in the barn here, we have, the comfort zone or what they love, the place that they love, the horse is the barn, let's say. And when you're going away from the barn, you often have to do a little extra kicking. Let's say maybe a little whipping, if you're that kind of person. You have to do a little extra kicking because they're going away from what they love, their place, their home. They're moving forward with something. And so you're using sort of fear and discomfort to keep them moving forward. That's a valid motivation. But then when you're going towards what they love, when you turn around to go back towards the barn, they just trot away because they're going towards what they love. There's more fuel, there's more headwind in that direction. Not a headwind, there's more, the wind's at their back. The desire is creating a wind at their back that helps them move towards what they love. There's also a sense of rebellion here with the Lovers. And a love of the dislogic of love, that the less logical love is almost the grander it seems towards those experiencing it. People outside might not see what's going on, but towards those experiencing, there can be a rebellion. There is a rebellion. Our whole system, our whole power structure wants you to stay in line, wants you to toe the line, do what you're supposed to do, all of that, go through those motions, do what you're supposed to do. That's keeping you in the box, that keeps you compliant, that keeps you creating the world that your higher up wants. And we have the Hierophant here talking about it. The world that the higher up wants keeps you doing that, and that obedience. So are you going to obey the social norms? Are you going to obey the conventions? Are you going to obey these things and stay in line? Or are you going to commit an act of rebellion, an act of love, and that can even be loving yourself, and go towards that, the thing that is outside the box, that is not part of that. So that's what the Lovers means to me. And the more outside of expectations that it is, it almost seems like it's more genuine, because there's no part of that love that's maintaining the order, the structure that we all have come to expect. And the risk there is that greater risk makes the motivation of the love all that much more and much more genuine. So if that love is motivating you enough to break out of something, then you can then it's a very beautiful movement. A powerful, very powerful movement. And, you know, is that love enough to help you break out of some sort of rut, some sort of pattern, some sort of box of power structures? Because we have a lot of power structure here, huge power structure situation going on here. Is that love of the world that you want to see, is that great enough to get you to break out? This is what's going on either a subconscious level or a very private level for you. In your, what's at issue here? Queen of Swords. So this is a person who's very selfish with very cutting words. This might be somebody you know. But they, Queen of Swords in reverse is very self-absorbed energy, very cruel. It's either someone that's enacted some sort of silent treatment, or it's someone that when they speak very cruel words, pointed cruelty. There's a wrongful sharing somehow. It's like someone's supposed to share their idea, and either the idea is very messed up, or the way it's communicated is completely messed up. In your environment, you have the Hierophant here. So you have power structure. You have a very powerful power structure. You want to be in the Hierophant's good graces. You will follow all those rules. You will dot the I's they tell you to dot and cross the T's they tell you to cross. And if they tell you to cross some I's and dot some T's, you will do that. You will do that. This is about an ancient old power structure in your environment. This could be about the church. This could be about any institution. There's some sort of institution in your environment might be a little Byzantine, a little complex, a little bit very rule-oriented. The original intent, the pure core of that power structure may be difficult to see with all the rules and regulations, and this whole gorgeous, beautiful cathedral that's been built with the money and blood and sweat and tears of all these other people for this. We want to say it's glorifying God, but what it's actually doing is glorifying this man and his power structure. Here he's got these sycophants ready to do whatever he says. You might be one of these people just standing in the background waiting to do, serving this this demigod here, serving this this pope. I know that's not what we call them in the West, but that's basically what they are, especially when the Pope speaks for God and all of that. Then what speaks for God? You know, like this is someone that we humans have elevated into this power structure. So these people have to follow all the rules and toe the line just to stay alive. So that's what's going on in your environment. Some sort of institution. And what's interesting too is this justice system comes in at the end. So this could be having to deal with the justice system, right? Our justice system, not always the most justicist thing, but that core, that intent was there at some point, is there, I believe, even though the sort of rules and regulations that have been built up like a pearl, but anti-pearl, that have calcified around this original faith aspect. They are maybe more hidden, but it's possible that through an institutional vehicle, some justice may be able to come in here, some fairness. All right, your to-do list, 5 of coins. As a to-do list, I mean, this is a pretty rough reading. We start out with the 5 of swords. We've got all this energy. We've got this, I want to say ganas to win here. This is impoverish yourself. Let yourself be left out. There's like some sort of power structure, or there's some sort of spiritual structure here. Not spiritual. There's some sort of power structure or institutional structure, and you are meant to go outside that institution, right? We were talking about the box. Thinking outside the box, moving towards what you want, and moving out of hope rather than moving out of fear. This is outside of the church, outside of the wealth, and feeling excluded. This is, in a way, exclude yourself. Step outside of the structure. Step outside the box. Step outside what you were meant to do, what you were told to do. Stepping outside that. There is support here. This might risk something. This will risk something. Take that risk. Take the risk of the loss, the risk of the poverty. You may not like it. You may be grumpy about it. But this is to this is to exclude yourself, to choose to be outside of something, to choose to operate outside of this structure, outside of this domineering structure. You've got the power to do that. You've got the gas in your tank. And the gas in your tank is going to be love, and what it needs you to do is to step outside of the structure. That's so familiar. The expectations. You've got plenty of gas in your tank. That's the Chariot. We got gas in our tank and we're ready to go. We're revving. And where you're going is outside, away. This may leave you vulnerable. This may leave you isolated. This might risk some level of poverty. But you're being asked to, and you have the gas in your tank. That's what's interesting, is you have the passion, you have the love, you have the ability to do this right now. There's like a moment in time where you have the ability to step outside of the structure and go towards what you love. Make the world more one that you want to see. Your tank is full, and what it's full of is love. Enough love to propel you out and away from some sort of historic structure that's held you. Your possible outcome, justice. This could be the justice system, especially with the Hierophant. There could be legal ramifications going on here, but something's going to get balanced out. Something's going to get faired out. It's going to be a lot more fair. Maybe some truth is going to come out that is revealed. This also has to do with integrity. What we do in integrity, the integrity that we bring towards a situation creates an energetic karmic debt that this comes in to balance out. So whatever energy you brought in, whether technically you did the right thing or not the right thing, whatever energy, whatever integrity you did that with, or whoever did that with, that's going to be revealed. That's going to be something set right here. So if you risk losing out on something, you risk, losing out. You risk isolation. You go outside the bounds of this institution. You go outside the bounds of this institution, something will be faired up. Something will be back in balance. And justice will be served somehow. And the thing about it is you're not going outside the bounds of the institution for your own benefit. This isn't like embezzling money, like, oh, that's outside the legal bounds, I'll go do that. This isn't about like enriching yourself at all. In fact, the risk is that you could impoverish yourself. It's like a risk of integrity. It's a risk rooted in integrity, and it balances something out. It's not a risk that you take out of selfish motivation, out of fear of poverty. This is, do not fear the poverty. I know we've been taught to fear poverty. We see this homeless people on the street, and we're told that if we don't stay in line, if we don't do what we're told, that'll be us too, right? But there's a sense where something about this needs that risk. Like, you don't want to be like that person. You don't want to be like them. So you have to toe this line or you'll be like them. And you're like, you know what? That's an interesting stick that you continuously beat me with, but I'm done with it. And I'm going to go find someone that's offering me a carrot, or I'm going to find a situation where I actually end up feeling better after I do the thing I do than not feeling good. Because every time I do what you tell me to do, I don't feel good. But I'm going to risk this all to go do something that's within my integrity and that restores me and restores justice and restores fairness. But there's no easy choice, right? There's no easy option here because it is a risk. You could lose a lot. You could lose everything. You could lose your friends. You could lose your money. You could lose everything with this risk. but you're risking a lot for integrity. And I feel like the universe, it can often seem like these choices aren't rewarded, but this is telling me that something's made right by this. So Scorpio, I hope that was helpful for you. And if you want, join me over on the Vimeo extended, and otherwise I'll see you in a couple weeks. Thank you.